This is a podcast about both having autism and living with someone who has autism. My mom is Sonya, and I'm Josh, and this is Josh Has Autism.
Welcome to Josh Has Autism, everyone.
Hello.
Yep, Josh and I are here hanging out with you today.
Yeah.
Yep, so you have a big day planned?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff?
Yeah, good stuff.
I know that one thing you're going to do is go to the doctor and get a refill on your medication.
Yes.
So this is not a podcast about medication, but how's that going?
It's going okay.
All right, you're taking your medicine like it's prescribed?
Yes.
Missing some?
Not really.
Good.
Maybe occasionally, but not really.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times lately that I'm wondering if there needs to be a boost in medication for depression, because sometimes you seem kind of,
Yeah.
not really interested in what's going on and kind of
Down.
low energy.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
it's what Haley, I used to joke with your sister from the time she was little. I would tell her that it doesn't matter how you feel, it matters how you look, and you look fabulous. And of course she got it, because that couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
So she got what I was doing, so that worked. But anyway, it's not about that. I'm glad you're taking your medicine. I want to talk to you today about the fact that you're mentoring a couple of, there's middle school kids and young adults through the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities.
Yes.
So you've actually been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Right? A couple years?
About a year.
About a year? Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not together, they're different groups.
Right. The middle schoolers are one group, and then the young adults are another.
Mm-hmm. And they're different times a year.
Yes.
But they go for like 10 weeks or something like that, right? 10 to 12 weeks, something like along
Between
those
8
lines.
and 12 weeks, yeah. I don't remember the exact number, though.
Okay. And so what that means is essentially Dr. Olivia is there, and she's in charge of it. You've worked with her for a long time now, and she's helped you through a lot of things and connected you with some really great organizations and people.
Yeah.
So that's one of her superpowers. She connects people. She brings all kinds of people together from all over. So I would say that that's her superpower.
Yeah.
So you go in there.
She's like the ultimate Voltron.
You gotta explain. I need the colon, then definition.
Okay. Voltron, the more powerful it is has the more mechs connected to it.
More what?
Mechs.
Okay.
Do you know what mechs are?
You might as well be speaking a foreign language right now. I have no clue what you're saying.
Okay, think Power Rangers.
Okay.
Remember that? Whenever they would all connect together and everything and become this giant robot thing?
Can we do Ninja Turtles instead? Does that work?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to remember Power Rangers.
Okay.
It's okay. Just tell me what they do.
They connect together and become more powerful by combining.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So she saw something in you. We've already talked about this, that at this point in your life, you're able to express yourself out in public. You're able to look people in the eyes. You're able to have conversations, and so you've really worked to get to where you are today. And she saw that in you and thought you'd be a great mentor. I just said two things, like all you do is you're able to talk to people and look at in the eye. There's far more than that you convey to these kids and the young adults.
Yeah.
So instead of me stammering over it, why don't you share what it is that you do?
Uh-oh, put on the spot.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Well, one of the things that we teach there is... let me try it again.
They're called groups. right? And that, let me just say this before anything else. The groups are brought together for socialization purposes. Mm-hmm. So I just think that that's an important aspect to what it is that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the things that we teach in these groups is obviously social interactions, but all of that entails, whether it be online or in person, and how there are different things that you are not supposed to do and things that you should do.
Oh, so you talk to them about what's proper and what is not proper in face-to-face conversation, and if they ever communicate on the internet with somebody?
Right. Like,
okay.
One of the examples I use for one of the tenets kind of things that we learn is that, or at least that they learn, not we, because I already know it, is that you shouldn't give out personal information right off the bat whenever you meet somebody. And so Chrissy, or Dr. Ogilvy, who's one of the people in charge of running it, likes to use the ideas of phone numbers and other kinds of personal information like that. Whereas with me, to get them to understand a different aspect of it, I tell them through role playing. So let's say that I came up to you, like, hi, I'm Josh, and you know what? I sucked my thumb till I was 23. That kind of information, which isn't necessarily true for me. But I see the point.
Yes. It's personal information that other people don't need to know.
Yeah.
Right.
And because that's a lot more, in my experience, that is a lot more important to know than not to share your phone number. Because sharing your phone number or your social security number or anything else like that, it makes sense, but you don't think about it.
I see what you're saying. So what you do is you're saying that what Dr. Ogilvy is focusing on, it's super important. Because you don't ever want to give your social security to somebody that you just meet, or somebody even that you know. It's just not something that happens.
Right.
But what you're talking about are the tangibles of daily living, the conversations that people could face every single day.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I imagine that that's one reason why she likes you being there so much, because you take what she has lined out, the outline for this class, and you put it into the tangibles, and in a way that she could not do. She told me one time that you relate to the middle schoolers and the young adults as someone with autism in a way that she can't. And she also said that one of the things that she really loves about what you do is you just seem kind of have this understanding of just how to do it and what to do. There's been a few times where she's gone, "Oh, Josh, don't say that."
Yeah, because one of the things I do is to make them interested in things like that is sometimes I joke around. Using jokes that they would understand.
And if you have middle school kids and you make a joke, it's not like you telling a joke to somebody that's an adult, because middle school kids, regardless of their situation, take things way off the charts loud and
especially kids on the spectrum.
Do they laugh with you?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's good.
I mean, this isn't... Whenever I think middle schoolers, I think of really bad jokes. Like, not lewd or anything like that, but just very...
Yeah.
Really?
when I was a kid, I think that the thing was what's grosser than gross.
Yes.
That kind of stuff. What's grosser than gross. And, yeah, right.
The one joke that comes to mind right now in my head for middle schoolers, and it's kind of the epitome of their kind of jokes. Confucius says, he who farts in church sits in pew.
Right. Sits in, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Middle school joke.
Right.
Or a dad joke.
Dad is definitely a pull my finger. You know that he's had Connor do that already?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes. It's already begun.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So
I think that's almost a requirement for dads at one point to do.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Or grandpa.
Yeah.
Pa, as Connor calls him.
Yeah.
So one of the things too that when I was talking to her about you doing this is that one of the things that the reasons why she feels like you connect so well is that you're closer in age to them than she is, and most of them are males.
Yeah.
And so that's...
With that being said, there's always been, in the groups that I've been helping to teach and everything, there's always been at least 2 females.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And these are small groups. So it's maybe 8 to 10 people, maybe 12. And the first time I think there was 5 girls actually.
Wow.
Out of 12 or so.
Wow.
And then this time there's 2 out of like 8 or 9. So it's...
I think that first number is not a typical ratio.
Right.
Yeah. These kids look up to you.
Yeah.
And do they listen to you?
For the most part.
Yeah, well, because they're in middle school and yeah. What about the young adults?
What about them?
Well, clearly that kind of joke doesn't work with them.
Right.
And is it...
It gets them to snort.
Does it?
Jokes like that, it gets them to snort, like, really?
Yeah. Well, it's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can at least get them to smile and everything, so that's definitely a big step forward, though. Is that I can joke and they know that I'm joking.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they've worked pretty hard to get to that point too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was told that one time, because you've done this a number of times throughout since you've started, and she said that one time the kids were surprised to find out, because she doesn't introduce you as, this is Josh and he has autism.
Right. This is my friend Josh.
Yes.
Is what she says. Yeah.
Yes. And one time it was about 5 weeks in, and they found out that after you working with them, and they found out that you have autism. And she said that the looks on their faces when you told them that you have autism, she said it was wonderful because it was surprise.
Yeah.
But she said she could also see that right in front of them was this example that, that they can do things. They can, they can go to college. They can drive.
Yeah.
They can date.
Yeah.
They can get a job.
And they can be successful with their lives. Yeah.
Yep. So she said that right there was just something that was incredible. and I think probably for her was something so rewarding to see that in them, like this spark.
Yeah.
And so it's a good arrangement.
Yeah.
What do you like about it? What do you like about mentoring?
Well, I can tell jokes without no. No, but I just connect with everybody really well, and I can impart some of the experience that I've learned so that others don't have to go through all the troubles that I did. And if I can do that with just one person, that's already a success.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. And I think it's important. Role models are just such a big deal. It's so important. And you had some pretty good role models in your life. Dad was a really good male role model for you. Grandpa.
Yeah. You.
And Pappy. Me. And Aunt Carol. Uncle Tracy. So you had this extended, family with role models. But you never had somebody that had autism for you to see how this can look.
Right.
Because we talk on here a lot, because this is Josh Has Autism, so we're not going to just talk about, as you put it, how awesome you are.
Because I am.
Well, true. We're not going to just talk about that, because there's parts of it that are not
awesome.
Awesome, yeah. Parts of your life that are still a struggle for you.
Yeah.
And, but the big picture is that it's working because, of all the things that you've accomplished to this point, and still, as you're moving forward.
Yeah.
It is something that's so important, I think, because for people to have a mentor that has autism right in front of them, communicating with them, joking with them, teaching them, passing on information that's going to help in their real life, day to day.
Yeah.
I just think is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's these organizations called Big Brother, Big Sister.
Big Brother, Big Sister, yeah.
So our society recognizes that mentors and role models are hugely important.
Yeah.
And the people with autism, they're not the exception. They need a role model too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think it's pretty cool that you go and you do this, and you show a level of responsibility with this that I really admire. It's important to you. The day that you're supposed to be there, you know that you're supposed to be there. You know what time you're there on time. You're consistent, and so it makes me think that you really get something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me feel good inside that I can help other kids the way that I can help other kids learn how to act and react in a way that is socially acceptable, and not only that, but is something that took me forever to get.
Right. And yet, you passing that on to them?
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with Dr. Ogilvy, and what she said is that you have a teacher's instinct. And that's not something that, it's just something that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I know how to word things in a way that people can understand it, in the way that they need it said.
And that's so important. And what she says too is that she tells you what's happening, and I guess you have a PowerPoint sometimes, or other types of tools that you use, but you don't read it from the PowerPoint. You read it and then translate in a way that the kids and young adults are going to get, and they're going to be meaningful to them.
Yeah.
So what I think is important about this is that you translate those words into something that's going to stick. You're giving them the best chance anyway of it sticking.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when you're doing those things, do the kids interact with you? Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Because another thing she said is that sometimes when, before you came along, there would not be so much interaction.
Yeah.
They would kind of, it was quiet.
Yeah.
When you're there, she said it's loud.
Yeah.
It's loud.
Yeah.
And she's thrilled to see that. One time I think she was practically in tears because she looked, and as a group everyone was having a discussion and everybody was taking turns.
Yeah.
They were listening to what was said and taking turns, and it was very appropriate.
Yeah.
And she just, like, I mean, I think she's been working in this field for
years and years.
Yes, I exactly. I think probably at least 25.
Yeah.
And for her to see that with, what she calls her kids,
yeah,
was just, I think, emotional.
Yeah.
So you bring something out in them. You offer something to them, and in return, they feel comfortable in opening up,
yeah,
in sharing. And it's just, those are the kind of things that money can't buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think that what you're doing is just huge. I think that if these kinds of opportunities could happen for, I was going to say with CARD, but not just CARD, but I mean across the country, across the world, that could make such a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it would have made a difference for you?
Yeah, I
guess it's kind of abstract and kind of hard to answer.
Well, it's more hard to answer because I grew up the way I grew up, and I am the way now, even without that.
Right.
But with that being said, it might have been a little bit easier had I had something like this,
right?
And had a mentor that was where I went.
Well.
Or where I was at, and could help me through that because they'd experienced that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know this for sure, but I would think that would have been for you, like I hope it is for these middle schoolers and young adults, that it's a confidence booster, that it's encouraging.
Yeah.
That to see, like, oh, I can drive. Maybe I can drive.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can date. Maybe I can, get a job.
Yeah.
And because things are a struggle. Middle school is just such a tough time anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you are there and you're doing this. I'm proud of you for doing it. I know that you take it seriously and it matters to you. And a couple of the things that run through my head is that, to put it in a different way, that because the kids see you there, they see that there's a whole bunch of possibilities.
Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to say about it? I know what I want to ask you. So you are really comfortable speaking in front of groups of people.
Yeah.
And
which is weird, right?
And you're effective at doing so.
Yeah.
So whether it's the middle schoolers, the young adults with autism,
mm-hmm.
or it's a room full of people, professionals, whatever it is, from one to the other, you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think part of that was me growing up singing on the stage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, even in first grade, I was in all city chorus and everything like that. And it just blew me away how awesome singing with people is.
Mm-hmm.
And how proud I was that these people came to listen to me.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the last performance I did in high school was my own graduation ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
And I could barely sing because I was that emotional.
Yeah, I bet. And I remember that. Yeah. But I bet it was emotional.
It was. Yeah. It was. And that was actually my 99th performance on a stage. Wow. Yeah. Not that. Yeah, that includes musicals and things like that. But it was my 99th on stage performance.
And I know that you liked it so much and enjoyed yourself so much. That's why, I've kind of encouraged you to find in this area, whether it's like a barbershop quartet or
just any kind of,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So that might be a consideration.
Yeah.
So you're doing this, and it's successful.
Yeah.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep at it, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anything else about it that you want to share?
Well, I mean, just honestly, some of their names were just really cool.
No.
There's this one guy.
I don't think we can use names.
Not last name.
Okay.
No?
No, let's not use names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, yes.
Okay. I will stand by that. Some of them have really cool names.
Cool. You can tell me when we're not on a podcast.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. It makes me so happy to see that you're able to take what you've learned and pass that on to middle school students, young adults. And I remember you growing up. It kept being drilled in my head, transfer of skills, transfer of skills, transfer of skills. That means that the professionals would teach me how to do it, then I would teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's something that it seems like you've carried on, because now you're passing on to the folks that you're working with.
Yeah.
And it used to make me crazy, transfer skills. I'm like, I don't wanna. Because sometimes it felt overwhelming.
Yeah.
But, worth it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll wrap it up today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you are so inclined, please give us 5-star review. And we appreciate those of you that have done that. It means a lot to us. And if you want to check out the website, something that I've never mentioned that was brought to my attention, that every time that we do a podcast, I also write a blog to go with the podcast. I don't think we've ever mentioned that. So I've always looked at the podcast as Josh's voice. It's his point of view. And then I write a blog that's my point of view on the same subject.
Yeah.
And if you go to the website, you can see that. You can also see that my son-in-law, Josh's brother-in-law, does some illustration for every blog that's written.
Yeah.
And he's really, really talented. And real soon I'm going to give out his contact information. It'll be on the website as well.
Yeah.
Because I think he's moving into doing that for a living.
Yeah.
So, which is fantastic.
Cool.
He's good enough.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's brilliant. So, anyways, if you go to my website, it's sonyaking.com. Because I don't know.
SONYA.
Yes. Because I don't know where this goes. Like, we do this here, and then we give it to your dad, and then he sends it wherever it's going to go. So I don't know if people are listening to this. I don't know if the website's there. So, but you can find all the other podcasts and blogs that are associated and just other stuff. So anyway, you do that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you have a great day. Love you.
Bye.